Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call the regular City Council of February 11th to order. Ms. Cassandra,
Mayor David Romero,
here.
Councilor Marvin Martinez,
Present.
Councilor Barbara Casey,
Here.
Councilor Benito Pacheco,
Present.
Councilor David Olivari.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We do have a quorum.
Thank you. And I'd like to acknowledge, we do have the New Mexico Highlands football team here with us today. So, Coach, if you don't mind leading us or getting a couple players and leading us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Councilor Casey, will you lead us in a moment of silence?
Let us bow our heads in a moment of silence and grieve for the people who have passed away in our community this last month. And also to thank God for all the good things that we have here in Las Vegas. We have 3 institutions of higher learning. We have wonderful people who live here, kind, generous people, and we are blessed for all of that. Let us give thanks for those things. Amen.
Amen.
Mayor,
Mr. Manager?
Mayor, if I could, on a moment of silence, the city and the region lost one of our heroes, Zenobia Gallegos Armstrong, Marine Corps veteran, passed on, and I just wanted to ask for her thoughts in this moment. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, approval of the agenda?
You guys had an opportunity to review the agenda. Any changes? If not, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Motion by Councilor Casey, second by Councilman Olivari. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our public input. We have no public input this evening. Moving on to our mayor's appointments, reports, recognitions, and proclamations.
And I'll go ahead and, first of all, welcome you guys here. This is probably the first time that we've had New Mexico Highlands University football team here in our chambers. So thank you for joining us. But I'll go ahead and turn this presentation over to our newly elected council member, because he asked that we do this in recognition to the astounding, the great season that you guys had. And I think we're looking forward to an even better season. I know we've had an opportunity to talk to Coach, and we're excited. I think Highlands Pride is coming back to this community. I think we haven't had that in a while. So, Mr. Councilor, do you mind presenting?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Members of the audience, members of the council, thanks for being here this evening. I just want to take this opportunity to recognize our football team, our coaching staff, our administration from New Mexico Highlands University. The reason that we brought you here tonight is in honor of the successful season that you've had. It's been quite some time that we've had a winning season at New Mexico Highlands University. And as a city, as a community, as a university, I think it brings a lot of morale and pride to our town, not only for the university, but for the region in general. I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome our players that are here. You come from all over the world, all over the country, and we welcome you, and we are glad to have you here, not only at Highlands, but at Las Vegas, in Las Vegas, New Mexico. So with that being said, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask Coach Kurt and his staff to step forward right here at the mic, sir. He's used to this because for those that don't know, we've been in front of other governing bodies. I'm usually on the other side of the microphone. So, Coach Kurt, I just have a few things to say about Coach Kurt, and excuse me for sweating here. As Lucas knows, I try to get the gym in every day, and I barely got here in time, so I'm still recovering from that. But Coach Kurt is not only a football coach in our community, but he's a mentor of young people, not only at Highlands but in our community. We've had the opportunity to travel not only to different states here in the U.S. but to American Samoa, and he's been able to show me a part of his homeland, and he's really taken to here, Las Vegas. He has a wife who's not here tonight, but as I say, and my wife's probably maybe at home listening, hopefully, because I'll get some more points, but behind every good man is an even better woman. So his wife is an integral part of the success, not only of our football team, but of our community. Raises his children here, they go to school here. And like I say, even though we're worlds apart where we come from, American Samoa is like Las Vegas, New Mexico on an island. That's what I equate it to, family-oriented, nose to the grindstone, hardworking type of people like we are here. So it's a good fit for us. So, in honor of the winning season and what you bring to our community as a coach, as a person, I'd like to congratulate the Highlands University football team on your winning record and present this certificate to Coach Kurt Tavasau. Close enough? Correct me, Coach. It's all right. We appreciate you, and we look forward to growing what has started here at Highlands University. There you go, sir. Say a few words up here. Maybe some other counselors have some other,
So while Coach comes to the mic, I don't know if you guys want to say a few words. Counselors? Counselor Casey?
I just want to say, que viva Highlands. I graduated from there, and I won't say how long ago that was, but I wore my purple. So I'm very proud of Highlands, and I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm very proud of all of you that are here with us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Again, first off, my friend, Councilman, Pacheco, thank you so much for the opportunity to, be in front of you guys. I may be at the forefront of everything, but trust me, behind me, it's a village. With the leadership and the support from Dr. Wolf, our president, and the great coaching staff that I have. Some of them are not here. They're finishing up our workouts right now. And then great group of young men that are sitting right behind me too as well. I know some of them probably moved on, graduated, and are focusing on, other things in life right now. But, we recruited, a good group of guys that are going to come in and represent this community, this city to the fullest. Las Vegas might not be their first option, but they're here. They're here to, build something special that the community are going to be proud of. I just want to say thank you from our team, my staff, and our president, for the recognition, but there's more work to be done, and super grateful for the honor. But I look forward to, I'm going to invite you guys, to come out to our games this fall. Not only just football, but, all athletics, because, we got a great group of coaches that are building something special here and try to bring that excitement back, and again, from our leadership, Dr. Wolf, and, everyone from, the admin down, these guys have been behind our, my back and our team since we got here, 2 years ago. And our mission and our goal as a football program is to mold young men, to become men. So when they do leave our program, either they're going to stay here, continue to build this community, or they're going to go back home to their communities and, share some of, what Highland taught them, during their time here. So I'm grateful. And, before I, step down, from our team, we brought a couple of helmets here for you guys. City Councilman Pacheco, you can hand it out to whoever you want, but, this is kind of like our, thank you to Mayor and everybody for the support and, for more things ahead. So super grateful and thank you for everything. Pro Tem.
Thank you. On behalf of the city, thank you. I know in the mayor's office is, I was able to move in there officially without, during an election, you're not sure, right? So you don't put too much stuff up. But I'm excited about, putting Highlands University. I have a flag there of Highlands. I mean, it's represents, and I have dignitaries come into my office. We want them to know that Highlands is a very important part of this community. I will say a few things that, I was never invited after that first game. I was invited to do the coin flip, and we lost the coin flip, and I was never invited back. But I just want to throw that out, President Wolf. But no, I mean, I think, and I won't be the only one to say this. Our community has always strived when Highlands does good, right? So I know, what this governing body, we've wanted to support Highlands. As a matter of fact, Mr. Manager, I don't know how many city employees we took yesterday to Highlands Day. I think it was, 15, 18 of us? I mean, we had a big team, from the city to support Highlands, and I think that's, Highlands has been there to support us, and we'll do the same as we move forward. So we got your back, and I know you guys got ours, and, to the players, you guys are, part of this community, and I think what coach represents, and not only the football coach, all the other coaches is family, and I think that's what Las Vegas, New Mexico is. So you guys ever need anything, hear from the city, the manager, any of us up here, we're here to help you guys thrive because we want you guys to succeed and be, products of, I mean, you might not have been born here, but at the end of the day, when you graduate from here, you'll always be known as from Highlands University, from the city of Las Vegas. So thank you guys for making that choice to go to school here. Councilman?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
We can get to football. If you guys don't mind coming up, we'll take a picture real
You
quick.
guys want to come up, guys?
Hey, one thing I want to point out to our directors out there, they're not just representing the H, but if you look at the front of that helmet, look what they have right there. So,
All right. The real Las
I don't know if they're gonna
Vegas.
see us behind you with these big guys.
good one to get down, bro.
We may have to stand on the chairs.
Little certificate. Bend down. Toyotizo.
Go back up.
Reach up here.
How you doing? Yes, sir. Doing good.
I feel so safe.
Let me get that.
Let's throw up the one.
Grab that helmet there. That's right there.
Waiting. Gotta wait for Johnson.
He's putting on the helmet.
Sorry you took the green and gold mark. Face won't force and get the Vegas in there.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come.
Thanks so much. Garcia, where are you from? Raton. I thought you were from Raton, but I thought you were the other kid from over there, the coach's son. What's his name? Walton. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Chief. Nice to meet you.
We're gonna go heads after that.
Those things are heavy.
That and then all their gear. Can you imagine?
That's why they have to be so big.
All right. So we'll go on to councilors' reports.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Councilors' reports?
Councilors? Councilman Olivari.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, Mr. Mayor, Council. I just recognize, we got some brand-new pool tables at the senior citizens. It took us some time, took us some years. People love it. I travel out there like 3-4 times a week just to talk to the people. They're senior citizens. I love to talk to them about everything and anything. But we've been talking about these pool tables for the past 10 years. Me and our previous Councilman, Vince Hall donated 2 pool tables like back in
2017.
like 10 years ago.
Yeah, 2017. We're
So we donated some tables and we got some brand new ones. I want to thank you, June, for taking care of this and our seniors. Our seniors are very special to us because it's our heart and you get to talk to them and they're happy. When they're happy, we're all happy. Thank you.
Councilman Martinez.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I do want to say thanks for for those tables that were brought in, also June, and I do appreciate that it starts somewhere as a vision and then all of a sudden it becomes reality because, you know, those people out there, they don't have a lot of recreation and those tables actually bring that recreation. As long as you don't have no betting going on, of course. But nevertheless, I wanted to also mention that we went to city manager, myself, Councilor Ulibarri, and Travis, along with Jimmy Sice, went up to Castle Rock, Colorado, and we took a look at their state-of-the-art water treatment plant, which was pretty exciting I think more exciting to Travis, but it was pretty educational for myself and the rest of us, and I thought it was a great opportunity to see somebody else's facility that could be here, maybe not in that size or fashion, but all the components that are there can be in our community. And we had a really good meeting with these people, and we got some very good ideas. And I think Travis went ahead and realized that we're living probably in the 50s, 60s, probably over here, maybe, I don't know. But nevertheless, we saw this treatment plant. It was a good experience for all of us, and we learned a lot. And there's a lot more to learn moving forward, but things are looking up when it comes to the water treatment plant in our community. And if we get something similar to that, we're gonna be in real good shape for the coming years, and I could only see good things coming out of it, so I just wanted to thank, everybody that did go. It was, very informative again, but, it was exciting to see something new that could possibly be here, and why not here? Don't we deserve something good in Vegas? Of course. And I just wanna see that come full circle and make sure that we have the quality of water that we can produce for our people. Our people deserve to have that. So, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Martinez. Councilor Casey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a lot of thank yous for this evening. I want to thank Jeff Rudolph from Parks Department. He has been very, very helpful with the purchasing of playground equipment, new playground equipment for Marujo Park. And he did contact me yesterday via email to explain that everything is ready to be shipped over here, and they plan to have everything installed in April. And I think that's perfect timing for when school ends and the kids will have a safe, new playground in which to play. I'm very happy about that, and I want to thank him greatly for all of his assistance. I also want to thank Mr. Lopez, Arnold Lopez, from the Public Works Department, and particularly all the work that his department has done for our streets, particularly Lutheran Lane. And as a matter of fact, Monday evening, I was thanked by people who live on Lutheran Lane. I happened to see them at a funeral function. And they stopped me to thank me for that. It was kind of awkward, but still, I appreciate that very much. And I want to thank Mr. Lopez and his crew for all the work that they have done there and the patience that they've had with some of the people that they have had to deal with. I also want to thank Amanda Salas. I think Amanda has been just fantastic as our public information officer. And I say this because oftentimes when I learn that something is going on in the city, I learn it from the PSAs. And if it weren't for those PSAs, I would not know what is going on. And that, I'm sorry that it's leading into something that might be considered negative, but I'm kind of tired of being treated like the ugly stepsister. I rarely get any information, and if I do, it's always late or after the fact. I would really like to have some kind of means of having communication with what's going on so that I'm not surprised or embarrassed when people tell me, hey, I didn't know that was happening, blah, blah, blah. Well, hello, I don't know about it yet either because I have not been notified. So I would really like to have better communication coming from our administrative office to let us all know what's going on. Oftentimes, the men counselors know what's going on, but I am not informed, and I don't appreciate that, not even one little teensy-weensy bit. So that needs to change. And if it doesn't, you'll be hearing from me again, and again, and again, and again, until it does. So this is what I would like. And I don't have a problem with anything else other than that. I would like to know, yes, we have 60-plus new employees, no idea where they are, don't know their names, don't know what they're doing, don't know what departments they're in. Those are the kinds of things that we need to know. All of us, not just the men, but also this woman would like to know what is going on so that I can better serve my community. And I don't serve just my ward, I serve all of Las Vegas. I'm a city councilor, not a Ward 3 councilor. And so I want to also iterate that. So please, if we can have some form of better communication, I would be very happy with that. And if a counselor has an idea that he thinks might be something wonderful for Las Vegas, I think not just one person should be told, but all of us should be told. We need to share the knowledge, we need to share the ideas, we need to share with each other so that we know what is happening throughout Las Vegas, not just in one ward. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much, everyone that's here. I appreciate all our city employees, and I thank them for the wonderful job that they do. I'm very proud of them. I'm especially proud of the women that are working so hard. They do a fantastic job. The men work very, very diligently, and they are always on the spot, and they're very ready to help in any way. And I appreciate that greatly. And so I know that I feel very comfortable if I have an issue that comes up with solid waste or with the water department, streets, I can call, and I know that I will get assistance from the directors. So thank you so much for all of that. And those of you that are out there in the trenches every day, I appreciate you more than words can even express. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Pacheco?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So Ward 2 update, just a few quick points. There are areas under consideration on tonight's agenda that will directly impact Ward 2. We are considering a mill overlay on Ridge Runner Road. And as part of what I campaigned on, and one of the key points was community beautification. And so that would fall under one of those areas. Mountain View Drive, we're going to consider a MAP grant that would help with flooding and drainage. as well as ADA compliance. We are also going to consider a street sweeper, which would serve the entire community, but again, that goes to beautification and maintaining what we have. Just to rehash a bit of my last update, Mr. Manager, and you and I have discussed some of those points and some of the inventory things that I would like to have for reference, such as the signage, our lighting, graffiti. And I appreciate the response that I've received from all parties with the city at the executive level that are participating in that. In terms of water, I started out small, kind of baby steps, but that's a large issue. I've been investigating that a bit further. Look forward to a tour of the water plant and some of the discussions that we are having in terms of long-term resolution to the ongoing water challenge that we have in this community. We are not going to grow or improve if there's no water. Water is everything. For constituents they're out there listening, which I don't know how many listen to or watch the council meeting, but there will be a series of texts that will go out to a segment of Ward 2 that will solicit some feedback. So if you receive those texts on behalf of myself, please answer those. I would really appreciate the feedback that you provide. In addition to that, I'm in the process of setting up social media channels that will allow constituents to provide feedback on a real-time basis. I want to have that for reference and work on the issues that are important to Ward 2 as well as to the community of Las Vegas. Another area that I have interest in is our city ordinances. And I've communicated with the city manager. He was actually thinking the same thing, so I'll give him credit for starting the initiative. But we're having some of our ordinances reviewed. We may have some ordinance on the books that go back to horse and buggy, I don't know. But there are some that are obsolete, and there are some that we need to update. So let's become more efficient, and let's have ordinance on the books that we can actually enforce. So in terms of my updates, that will serve as my update for today. And I just want to also say I really want to thank everyone that showed up in Santa Fe yesterday. It was a good show for the city. It took time, it took effort to get there, but we put our best foot forward. I would also want to just put out there for consideration in the future. In the past, we had a collaborated effort between many entities, the city, Highlands, Luna, I think, and had a after-hours promotional event on behalf of the area. The return on investment on those types of things is immeasurable. We build relationships, we leverage funding, and Mr. Manager, I'd like to put that out for consideration in the future. So that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to add one more thing, just like Counselor Casey added that, we're just not Ward 4 council, I'm not a Ward 4 councilman by myself. I also serve the balance of the city, and we make decisions on every meeting in reference to the entire city. But I do want to mention that Ward 4 is donating $35,000 to King Street, which is in Ullery's ward, which is Ward 1. And I don't know the extent of that phase of the development of that project, but nevertheless, that that was primarily at one time in Ward 4. And I felt that it was beneficial for us to be able to share some of those expenses and so forth moving forward, to get Keene Street taken care of. It's been in the works for a lot of years, a lot of talking about it, but I think now, Arnold, you've got it well figured out what you need to do there, and you did ask me for some of that funding, and I think we we need to support that. So again, I want to make sure that the entire city knows that we're here to share those services. It's not our stuff. It's not our money. It's the public's money. We have to be good stewards of our money for the city, for our community. So I want to always move forward in making sure that we have projects like that, aligned with our community. So thank you, for doing that project of naturally and wanting to make sure that we move forward with it, of course.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, just make a comment on that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilman Martinez, and he is correct. He made it possible. We had a shortfall in that budget to complete that project. So we approached Councilman Martinez, and he easily, committed to it. And thank you for that. You made that project possible. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Councilor Casey, and then we'll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can't get this to work. I forgot to mention, before I started that last part of my report, I would very much appreciate it if what I stated at the end would be put in the minutes for this meeting verbatim.
Counselor.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Olivari.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager and Mr. Mayor and Council. We did tour a water treatment plant up in Colorado. It's awesome. We took a look at not every aspect, but almost everything, and that's what we need here in this beautiful town. Once we get this water, people are gonna be very, very happy, even me, because I've been here all my life. But the thing is that it's something very awesome to me and to everybody who lives here. So I want to thank everybody, especially my clients and my city manager and all the staff. Thank you for everything you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, I just want to, could we go ahead and, if you don't mind, I guess sending me a schedule of when you meet with counselors? Or if you could have executive schedule with counselors, specific dates that way, to make sure they get the information?
I'd be happy to do that, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our city manager's report. We have our city manager, Mr. Robert A. Anaya.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think I would like to start first and foremost, and I won't ask that it be put verbatim because these meetings are recorded on record. I would say specifically, Mayor, Councilwoman Casey, I'm a girl dad. I have 5 daughters, 2 of my own and 3 that I consider my own. And I will not take any exception at all. I will always assure that there's equal treatment for women, men, people of all walks, race, color, creed, gender, preference. Plain and simple, on the record, straightforward, straight to you, Mayor, and straight to every single counselor. I've worked here 8 months, almost 9, and will continue to work on improvement to add additional information. I went back and looked at the meetings that the city previously had. I went back and looked on the reports previously provided, and I'm going to continue to add more and more detail. I also respect, Mayor, and each and every counselor that we can't spend the whole meeting going through the manager's update and the report. So I'm working to balance that, but I'm happy to add more and more and more, and my door is open to the meetings that the mayor suggested at any time with any of you, rain or shine, day or night, at any time that you prefer and you would like. And so I just want to say that clearly on the record. But my girls are my life. Doris, my partner, my girls, and their success and well-being, and I've instilled in them in no way ever to take exception or second seat or back door or anything to anybody based on who they are or what they believe or what they do. I'm not ashamed to say that on the record, and I'd say it on the record every time if I need to. I'm so proud of them, and I'm proud of all the people that work at the city, men and women alike, period. And so that's what I would say respectfully to start, Mayor. I'm not going to I had a very detailed report last time, so I just want to highlight that we've been spending a lot of time at the legislature, and I can tell you that this team has garnered respect statewide and will continue to build on that respect statewide. Each of these individuals on the leadership team are experts in their field, but they're committed to learning and engaging and working with the legislators and all those subcommittees and structures that can bring resources and revenue and projects to the city, just like they have done now, but before I even got here. So that's a credit to you, Mayor, and that's a credit to the council for your vision, direction, and leadership. Ongoing coordination occurred. I've had meetings with the New Mexico Municipal League. With AJ, Councilor Pacheco noted the ordinances. I want to highlight our clerk, who's going to be running front of the line with us and our team to work with the New Mexico Municipal League to take those ordinances and resolutions, go through those, dissect those, and take priority. She's already done her work and reached out to the department heads. We're going to work on their priority ordinances, and then we're going to also bring up those ordinances that are old that we need to renew and revisit, and then bring back recommendations as we're required to do to the mayor and council for your review and consideration. Ms. Lara is the attorney that's been assigned to facilitate that, but we also have access to Mr. Castellano and others that are going to help us through this process of reviewing, revising, and updating. Madam Clerk, can you add a few comments as to that work that we're doing?
So I did reach out to all the directors, and we're going to start, in fact, tomorrow I meet with, you said her name is Lara? And she will be here tomorrow in person, and we're going to start with some of the ordinances in community development that I've received from them. So we'll start with those, and then we'll move forward until we get through all of them, which is going to take quite a bit of time, but we'll keep moving forward.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. A couple other items, Mr. Mayor. I know you have other things you're going to get to. I ditto and echo every word that was said associated with the Castle Rock visit. We learned a lot, and we have a lot more that we're going to work on in conjunction with Castle Rock. One of the things that I'm going to initiate with Travis's team is to give some of their people the opportunity to travel up to Castle Rock to work alongside some of these folks and get some hands-on understanding and experience as to how those facilities function and operate. So Mr. Martinez is going to take a contingent of his team so that they can experience directly what might facilitate and help them as we navigate the construction of the project. I met with the New Mexico Finance Authority. We're in close communication with Mr. Madrid and the finance team to take a look at our whole financial picture, to then now during the budget process, bring some recommendations that might help us with our capital project and capital investments moving forward for the city of Las Vegas. A couple other things, meeting with the New Mexico Environment Department. Based on your direction, Mayor, and we've been working with the Economic Development Department. This is something that we've conveyed and reported to the whole mayor and council. And we're going through the process of on-site readiness for the airport. So Secretary Black from the Environment Department included us alongside, there's probably, I think, about 11 other cities and jurisdictions that are going through this same process, where the consultants are evaluating different properties and parcels of land to make sure that we have the information we need to apply for grants and make sure that we're on site and ready to maybe bring recommendations to you that you would then adopt and move forward. And so we're excited about that because they're paying for that. Secretary Black is paying for that through the Economic Development Department. So we're excited about that. A couple other things. We are continually in communication all day. We had several meetings with our staff, our council that's helped us with the intergovernmental agreement, with our finance department, with NMED, to assure that as we're going through this billing and payment process with the Environment Department, that we're up to date on tracking of where the project is and also the expenditures, where they fall. And there's a tandem, not only understanding, but recognition that the public wants to see, you want to see, and make sure that expenditures made are being done so in a responsible manner. So it's a process, but we're working through that process, and we're doing that collectively, inclusive of the whole team, including our water director. I think that's it. I would stand for any questions. I know I had an extensive report last time, but I'd stand for any questions or feedback the council may have.
I had one thing, but Counselor Casey, you had something?
Yes, I just, thank you, Mr. City Manager. At the last meeting of January, Counselor Pacheco had requested a copy of the IGA, the Intergovernmental Agreement, and you said that you would send it to the governing body, and also that everybody would receive a digital copy, plus any additional key agreements. When will we get those?
Mr. Mayor, Councilwoman Casey, you have the intergovernmental
I have
agreement.
that one, but I'm
And
referring
Counselor-
to the additional key agreements, and that's exactly your words that you said. What,
Mr.
if there
Mayor,
are others, are we gonna get them or not? Or
Mr.
does it
Mayor,
exist?
Councilwoman Casey, I'm happy to provide whatever specific agreements you would like. We have a multitude of agreements that come through this council for approval, but I'm happy to provide whatever specific ones you request. I believe, Mr. Pacheco, we provided you the intergovernmental agreement?
Okay,
Yeah, I have that, but I was just curious about the additional key agreements. I didn't know what you meant by that, or if, you were gonna send out key agreements that maybe, we need an update on, or whatever. That was
Absolutely. Mr. Mayor, Councilwoman Casey, I have not signed any agreement that's my own agreement. Every agreement that I've signed has been approved by this governing body. I know it's been practice, and there are agreements that managers in the past have done with entities, but in my time, in 9 months, have not signed any individual agreements outside of all agreements provided. Based on that statement,
what I wanted to know. So, thank you very much.
And Mr. Manager, I think maybe, but I know some of these agreements, we don't even have, for instance, with Plexus and Burns, some of those, that's between the state and them, so and that's, might be what she's asking, but maybe we could ask again. I know that we've asked for those, and Travis is nodding his head, because, he knows that we've been asking for it, so it's been difficult. I'll just say the intergovernmental agreement, based off of our legal, the Ortiz and Zamora firm, there were concerns on, they wanted direct pay. We've been advised, we shouldn't go that way. We have to go to the agreement. So that's kind of where we stand, and that's kind of what our fight and argument has been. But I think we're finally, on the same page with the state and a better understanding. But we'll continue, if you guys don't mind continuing to ask, and then maybe if they don't respond, then share that with Councilor Casey.
Mr. Mayor, absolutely, and thank you for that. Councilwoman Casey, I think the mayor's spot on. We, just today, as a matter of fact, in the discussion we had, Governor's Office staff, NMED Legal, DFA Legal, our council, we raised that as we move forward with payments, as the intensity rises with the volume and amount of payment, that we absolutely need those. So I will absolutely, we'll get those in hand, and we'll forward those to the governing body so that we all, including yourselves, are privy to agreements that directly impact us. So thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for that request. I will work on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilor Pacheco.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to indicate that the information I requested, and my limited knowledge base at this point, but I felt that I received. So I received what I requested in a timely manner, and I just want that to be part of the record, please.
Questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our next item, approval of minutes for January 28th, 2026.
Councilor Casey?
Mr. Mayor, the minutes were absolutely perfect, and I move approval.
Motion by Councilor Casey. Have a second? Second by Councilman Martinez. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our presentations, not to exceed 10 to 15 minutes. have a presentation by Mr. Travis Martinez, our Water Director, on award presented to the City of Las Vegas System Operations for 2025 Most Improved Facility.
Mayor, Council, I have along with me the Northeastern Section President, Jake Martinez. He's the one that represents us through the New Mexico Water Wastewater Association. To bring this to presentation, I know last year we didn't get around to specify this other one that we had, but we also had the Presidential Award for the most upgraded water treatment facility during the 2024. And this year, we got the Northeastern Presidential Award for City of Las Vegas System Operation. So by system operation, it entails everything from water treatment, water distribution, wastewater collection, wastewater, and utility admin. And just to give a little bit of a shout out to me and my staff, it's been hard work, dedication, and sleepless nights. And I have my staff here with me if you guys want to stand up. We got Travis Earn, he's our distribution manager. We have Adrian Alemán, he's our project manager. We have Dominic Modis, he's our water treatment supervisor. George back there is the utility technical assistant. I have, he's always so quiet. I have Robert Espinosa, he's our wastewater manager. And James, if you want to stand up, he's part of the wastewater as well. And to give it to you, the one that takes care of all of us, Miss Casey, we have Jen back there. She's the one that's the mama bear that makes sure that all the paperwork is in order and everything is done before we move through the project. So
I learned that before the meeting.
yeah, she actually yells at me all the time. So she's got the utility part when it comes to that concept before it hits finance, that everything is put into place. So I want to give my staff a big shout out because these past 2 years have been tiring. We've worked hard. We've done everything that we can. And I think the awards can speak for themselves. And I want to thank you guys again. We've all been through it. And I have Jake here. You guys can sit down if you want. And I have Jake here, the president, that wants to speak a little bit on this.
So I want to introduce myself. My name's Jake Martinez. I'm the president of the Northeast section of the New Mexico Water and Wastewater. So my area consists of from Santa Fe all the way to the Colorado border. So to just give you a little bit of information, I made my notes, but I am so impressed with the City of Las Vegas council members, police chief. It is like, it was worth the trip coming here tonight. Yeah, I have my notes, but you guys have impressed the heck out of me. Counselor Casey, I respect what you said. You stood out and said the way it should be. But anyway, a lot of notes that I wrote this evening, more or less out the door because you guys impressed me so much. So what I'm going to start with is the New Mexico Water and Wastewater Association has been around for 70 years. Las Vegas happens to be one of our members, and your employees, your staff, they've attended our schools. And I was real impressed. Travis attended one of our schools in Espanola, and that's why I was like, whoa, I'm going out to Vegas. His workers, and I learned so much this evening. You guys have an employee by the name of Archie in water distribution. Me and Archie have worked together over the years. I've been retired 17 years from Los Alamos County Utilities, and tonight I made his son Adrian. And to think, knowing Archie and his son is following in his dad's footsteps, priceless. The biggest thing is the community of Las Vegas. We're not like where I retired from Los Alamos County that has so much money. I know the crisis that you went through with the water, and how it was hard and stuff, trying to get water back in service. And then like the fake news, I could listen to it, but I knew these guys that were taking care of it. Sometimes you look at the news and they blow it out of proportion. But knowing all the workers, I know that they were providing the best that they could at the time. So that's why I respect what they've done. So the biggest thing is I traveled through several communities, not only in the Northeast section, I've traveled all over the state. And like you counselors attended this meeting in Colorado at the water plant. A lot of municipalities have the money to do it, assuming that this isn't all the municipalities' money. but you have to think, we gotta do with what we have. So that's why I traveled all the way from Espanola this evening. Like I had told Travis, I presented this award in Las Cruces. I could have ended it there, but I'm so impressed with the wastewater department, but not only them, you guys tonight, meeting the police chief, so professional, you council members, I am so impressed. So it's like, these notes I made out the door, I just have to say that it's just really good to see how you guys work together as councilmen, employees and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is, these workers are the ones that provide the safe drinking water for you. And to give you an example, tonight when you leave this meeting, you get back to your residence, when you turn on that kitchen faucet and get that drink of water, just know that water started up at the springs on the Gallinas River, traveled through the river, to the treatment plant, to the reservoirs, through the 127 miles of water line that they're responsible to your tap, knowing when you take that drink, it's safe because they know what they're doing. Then, when you guys finish the evening, you happen to go to the restroom and you flush that toilet, knowing that that water is gonna travel 2 feet per second through the collection system of Las Vegas to your wastewater plant, knowing that it's gonna be treated and discharged into the Gallinas River, and that they've done a good job and it's healthy and safe for the people downstream. So, I know I'm pressed for time, but let me put it this way, my heart's in the city of Las Vegas, the employees, the whole northeast section. As I was coming into Las Vegas, what I did, because your workers are so good, I stopped at the wastewater plant. It was already after 4. They were more or less gone, but I saw the flushing unit leaving because my heart's in it. So what did I do? I followed the flushing unit. And it was like going through all these streets and I found them. So I felt like I was a boss in Las Vegas and I was proud I'm gonna call out with them. So meeting the wastewater foreman, seeing his employee and seeing what they were doing after hours. So all I can say is this award, yes, it goes to Travis' department, but tonight I think to me it goes to the whole city of Las Vegas, because that's how impressed I am with your presentations and how good you guys conduct yourself. Because I go to a lot of meetings and one council member is bad-mouthing the manager, they're all fighting, everybody, and tonight I look like you guys are a perfect family. And so when I walk out the door, you guys can do what you do, but you impress the heck out of me. So that's all I really have to say, because I had all these notes, but to me, out the door, I am so impressed with the city of Las Vegas and his department, your presentation, how professional you guys are communicating. So it's just been worth my trip to travel from Espanola and just back your employees. I could have given that award to the city of Santa Fe, Los Alamos, that has all these millions, but I see how these guys have worked, and just remember this, you can lose your workers to other municipalities that pay better. These ones that stay behind because they're proud of their community and that's why they stay behind. So just remember tonight when you use your facilities, it's these workers that are giving you those facilities to enjoy, and that's all I have to say, because you guys, these notes out the door, so it's just the whole office or meeting room tonight impressed me, and I just want to say thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of the New Mexico Water and Wastewater Association.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. I just want to say a few things. I know, first off, thank you to the staff, and I think we say that all the time here. Everything that we've been through, the work that they put in, the sleepless nights, I think we all recognize that, right? But we understand that because we're here with them day and night, when those things are happening. But I think it means something more special when an outside organization recognizes that, right? Yes. Because, word of mouth and gossip, and we're not as bad as the Espanola gossip, but, but I'm just saying that, it gets bad, right? And word of mouth gets spread around that we have dirty water, and it goes to higher levels. So we're always, in Santa Fe, we're on a constant basis trying to defend the work that these guys are doing, right? We know that what we're producing is safe, but that's just a challenge that we've had to encounter and deal with as we lobby for money and we go through water trust boards and everything that we're doing, right? We know the hard work that these men and women are doing, to make sure that we have reliable water. So these awards, mean something very special because it's not just our family. And we have our disagreements. There's times that we don't agree, up here at all. So you came on a good night. But but, you know, we don't always get along, but, you know, we respect each other and we have our differences. But, I mean, these awards just mean so much to this community. I know we have the president of Highlands, you know, I mean, we had a big town hall there May of last year, you know, where we were criticized, right? And he knew what we were doing here at the city because, you know, we had a, you know, good communication with them, but the rest of the community didn't, and that's our fault for not, putting out enough information on the good things we're doing. So having your organization come in and recognize, and sadly that when we were in the middle of one of the crises, we got last year's award, but here we are on another one this year. You know, kudos to the staff, because, I mean, I think I tell you guys all the time, you know, how hard you work and how appreciative we are for what you do. And not only that you guys have stuck around, because we've had some that have bailed, you know, when it got tough. So these guys that have stuck around with us and continue to work hard, despite, you know, maybe them not trusting executive or what it might be, but at the end of the day, we're here for the community. And I'll leave it at that. So councilors, if you guys want to say anything to that, or Councilman Olivari?
Thank you, Mr. Manager, Mr. Mayor, Council. You know, I've been here for a long time, and we got a lot of awards from water. I'm not sorry, but you know what, I don't see the awards. When people come in, our residents come in, and they set them up somewhere that we could see what this council and this family or these people from Las Vegas are doing with water, gas, anything we do. And I don't see the plaques going up. We have a room that they just built there. It's a beautiful room. And I'm pretty sure that sometimes we get people from the community that goes in there, and they like to see stuff like that. Because it makes you proud. It makes you strong. That we're working for water, we're working for gas, anything that's got to do with the city, we're working for it. And the things that Mr. Manager and Council, we need to show our residents what we do, what kind of work we do, and the work that we're proud of. I want to thank you guys for all the work you guys do, you and your staff. Thank you.
Councilman Martinez.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Travis, Mr. Martinez, I do want to thank you for coming down to Vegas and recognizing, number one, our staff. You know, our staff is the one that creates the water for our community. We are happy to have them employed for us, and we applaud the efforts that they do on a daily basis, because water and water treatment, I am more than sure it's a science, but it's something that cannot be for everybody. But I appreciate you coming down and recognizing. And again, I learned about the award that Travis got on the road to Castle Rock. And he mentioned that he had gotten that award in Las Cruces. So he traveled from Las Cruces. The following day, he was basically in Denver with a couple of us here, council members and city manager and so forth. And I can't appreciate that enough, that you came down to our community to let our staff feel good about the things that they do every single day. So I appreciate that a whole lot, and it's a good thing. Makes all of us feel real good. Travis, you've done an excellent job. He's taken the reins, about 2.5 years ago, and he's proven to be a good leader. So I appreciate everything he does and his staff, both at water and wastewater treatment. So again, I applaud, the efforts of you guys providing that plaque. And we didn't get to see much of it last year, but congratulations to you, Travis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Martinez, thank you for coming from Española. We appreciate that very much, and I really appreciate your comments. And what you said is something that I have known for a long time. And I honor our employees. I think what makes me really happy is that they know what they're doing, and they do it extremely well. And I trust them. Trust is so important to me, and I trust everything that they do. I know that they're not going to lie to me. I know that they're always going to tell me the truth. I know that they are always working very hard to do the very best to provide the best water and the best services for the city of Las Vegas and the people who live here. And I honor that ethic that they have, and I thank them for it. And I thank you for recognizing it also and for bringing it to our attention and to speaking about it this evening. Thank you so very much, and thank you, employees. I think you're awesome. I don't even know how to, words cannot express how much I truly appreciate you all. Thank you very much.
Councilman Pacheco, did you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Martinez, thank you for your time. Appreciate your perspective and your input on this award. Travis, it's been a short time that we've been working together. I've been very impressed by your expertise. Sometimes I feel like you're speaking Chinese to me, but I trust in what you're saying. So, hey, thank you, young man. You've done a great job. Everyone with the water department, thank you so much. Travis, I just have one request. I see Mr. Espinosa back there. Please make sure he gets out of work on time for golf league when we start up this year. Fellow golf enthusiast. I see another thing while I'm here speaking. Mr. Espinosa, make sure you get your legal firearm purchases before we get further on down the line. You too, Mr. Lopez. Looks like we're heading the way of California, which is sad for New Mexico, but that's a whole nother matter. But again, Water Department, thank you so much. Travis, thank you so much. It's great working with you. I look forward to learning more, getting out to the water plant and learning from your expertise, sir.
I just wanted to add one last thing. The association's been around for 70 years. I started in this field in 1985, so I've been around a long time. And when Travis attended our school, I was the instructor. He had some of the best answers, and how you guys have respected him this evening, trust me, I go against a lot of the best operators. He's a newcomer, and he's gonna be a future star. So I just have to mention that, because it's not like we just started, but we've been around 70 years. And it's a business that I'm proud to be in, and thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. And as you go to Española, say hello to my friend, Mayor Vigil.
I
And
will.
I don't have a counselor as bad as he has, but I wish him well.
Mr. Mayor.
Honest with you guys, I feel like moving to Vegas. You guys have been so welcome. And it's back all sad. We're traveling back to my city.
Come on over. We're always looking for good community members here.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Pacheco took the words out of my mouth. We're hiring, and so we'd love to have you. But I just wanted to say that working with and learning from the employees doesn't come from sitting behind this desk or the desk in the office. It comes from getting out into their work areas and where they are. And we've had a lot with the water plant and legal matters back and forth, but I could tell you, my experience working not only in learning from the water and wastewater staff by seeing them do their work, it's citywide. And so, thank you, Mr. Martinez. I'll get you the application on the way out.
No comment.
Thank you, Ms. Cassandra.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So you know what? Let's get a picture with our guys since they're here. It's not often, and let's get those. Thank you.
With the awards.
Yeah, we don't mind. Let me get Ms. Salas to do a. I already did mine.
You see us right here?
Trev, break stand up. These guys aren't as big as the football team. That's because we haven't hit our growth spurt yet.
You're gross.
What's going on, brother?
Shortest guy down here.
Like this.
Yeah, step down. That's how they can see everybody in the back.
Okay, now let's go down again. You're not allowed to stand up on that. So I like the same height as everybody, huh?
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
How are you doing?
Back to you.
Thank you.
Ms. Cassandra?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to our next item is our consent agenda. If I may read those into the record.
Yes, please.
Our first consent agenda item, request approval to accept funding from the Joint Law Enforcement Operation Program with the U.S. Marshals for the fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $3,000. And our second item is request approval of addendum number 3 to contract 395123 with Sauter Miller and Associates for engineering services for water distribution system.
It's the pleasure of the council.
Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda as it was read into the record.
Motion by Councilor Casey, second by Councilman Olivari. Roll call.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to our next item, we have our business items. Our first item is to conduct a public hearing and approval of an application for a transfer of ownership and location of dispenser liquor license with an on-premise consumption with patio service for the Castaneda Hotel.
This time I'll entertain a motion to enter a public hearing.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we enter into public hearing.
I have a motion by Councilor Casey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pacheco. Roll call.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Pacheco. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Does anybody wish to testify on the public hearing? If you could please stand and raise your right hand.
And do we have anybody here virtually? I know we had one of your associates, Kyla Stoke, that was going to join us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you'll give in this public hearing is truthful and accurate? I do.
I do.
The witnesses have been informed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As I mentioned, we are here today to ask for approval of that application for the Castaneda Hotel. It is a transfer of ownership and location, and I believe the location is from Las Cruces. All publication requirements have been met, as well as zoning requirements. And Alcohol and Beverage Control has given granted preliminary approval. So at this time, we look to you for your consideration. And at this time, I'll stand for any questions.
So are there any comments from those wishing to testify?
This is Kyla Stoker. I'm virtually. This is New Mexico Liquor Licenses, LLC, on behalf of the applicant. I don't have any comments, but I'm here to answer any questions that you, Mr. Mayor, or councilors may have with regards to the transfer.
I'll just ask, I'll just get to it. Council, do you guys have any questions specific to this item? No?
I do not. Thank you.
Councilman Martinez?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, thank you. The only question I have, I know that the liquor license is being transferred from a different community to the city of Las Vegas, and is this considered a full dispenser's license?
It's considered a dispenser license because there is no interlocal dispenser, which is what it's been referenced over the years. But per statute, it's a dispenser license. However, this license does not allow for package sales for off-premises consumption. It allows only for on-premises consumption.
Okay, yeah, that would have been my next question if it had other parts of the licensing ability to be available to the to the Castaneda Hotel. I guess was trying to figure out if it lost any parts of the license being able to be transferred. I guess that's what I was trying to find out.
Unfortunately, my name's Carlos Lopez, by the way, one of the owners of the Castaneda Hotel.
Welcome, Carlos.
Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. When we purchased the hotel Unfortunately, the previous owner sold the license, so one of the first things we did was get with Kyla, our broker, to identify another license. We're opening up a restaurant bar. It's essential to the business. So we started that process. Here we are. So it's taken a little bit of time, but she identified this license, and we went ahead and got it under contract, and here we are at the final stages. It still goes to the state of New Mexico, and we don't foresee any issues at that point, and we'll move forward to opening up the restaurant and bar without the package. Previously,
Package,
it did
yeah.
have the package, yes.
Yeah, and I guess kind of one of my questions would have been, because there's, am I correct in saying this, that there's two types of liquor licenses available to, I guess, restaurants and so forth? Or am not even on the ballpark? I'm not even sure, to be honest with you, but I kind of remember a little bit about that. My sister had a license at one time and so forth, but I know that if you transfer a license, you lose part of that, part of it as you continue to transfer it.
I'll tell you what I know, and then I'll defer to Kyla.
Okay.
She's the professional. So, there's a dispenser license, there's the package license, and then there's the state license. You can get a state liquor license. That functions very well with restaurants that close, and they stop liquor sales at the point where they close selling, they stop selling food. So again, I'll defer to Kyla, because she'll explain a lot better than me.
Yes, so there are quite a few liquor licenses that are available under the statute, but the ones that are transferable from entity to entity, as opposed to what he's calling the state licenses, which are issued by the state, the only two, they're all actually one license, and they're all called dispenser licenses, and a retailer is the other option. All dispenser licenses at one time had package associated with them. And then there was a legislative session during, the decades that allowed for people who needed licenses in different areas to transfer that license. And when that happened, the legislature made it so much that the liquor license, once it moved, for instance, from Las Vegas to Las Cruces, it no longer had the ability to sell packaged liquor. So the only ones that are in your community now that have packaged liquor have been in your community since they were issued, or they're a retailer license, which is a really, very small number of total licenses in New Mexico.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I do appreciate the information, just, for my own personal knowledge as a councilman. I really don't have any other questions, Mayor. I just wanted to kind of clear that up and at least get
Any other-
perspective on it.
Any other questions, councilors? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to return to regular session.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we return to regular session.
Motion by Councilor Casey. I have a second. Second by Councilman Olivari. Roll call.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari? Yes. Have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
I'll entertain a motion on the agenda item.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the change for the business license. Yes.
A motion by Councilor Casey.
Second.
Second by Councilman Martinez. Roll call.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Congratulations, Mr. Lopez, to you and your partners. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. We appreciate you as a businessman here in the community and what you contribute.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Moving on to our business item number 2, request approval of amendment number 1 for memorandum agreement between the City of Las Vegas, County of San Miguel, and New Mexico Highlands University. We have our city manager, Mr. Anaya.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, before you is an agreement with San Miguel County Highlands University and the City of Las Vegas. I want to note on the record, I'm going to give the president and their team an opportunity to comment. We did have some questions that came up. The agreement that we previously brought to the council that was approved was for $60,000. We were waiting on that particular agreement. the agreement went to San Miguel County, and at the meeting at San Miguel County, I believe it was Commissioner Garcia, made an amendment on the floor to go ahead and amend and increase the agreement from $60,000 to $70,000. So I had some discussions with Highlands University. I also reached out to President Wolf and Chairman Sanchez and stated that it would be up to the mayor and council if they choose to add the additional 10,000. But the intent at the beginning was $60,000. The other conversation that was had, I also touched base with Mr. Madrid to see if we have the available resources. He said we do, but that decision is fully up to mayor and council. The other thing that we talked about, we had a committee meeting that included Mr. Fleury that I sit on, tied to the golf course budget. And that particular budget, we're gonna work to include in-kind work, which the city has done a fair amount of in-kind work with Mr. Lopez in particular, but some of his team members, not only his own individual work and in his labor time, but equipment time that we've been open and working in concert with Highlands University and the golf course to help facilitate. In fact, Mr. Lopez has been there, what, three days? Have you, 3 days this week, Mr. Lopez?
Yes, sir, probably 3 days, sir.
We're working on that ditch and drainage with equipment. And so I say that transparently to the mayor and council as to the process. There was no malintent I would put forward from President Wolf or anybody from Highlands University. The other important piece of that was that the agreement, I've confirmed, was 70,000 originally, and then it was reduced to 60. And then keeping in mind, and I think Mr. Fleury and the president and Mr. Kempner can comment on it, you know, COVID and other challenges of not being able to have a full season had a direct, for sure, impact on operations and budget. So I put forward for consideration and discussion that we're going to continue to work with the team, take the direction from mayor and council on how you feel about the increment and the increase, but that we're fully committed to help and have done in-kind work. And so, President Wolf, I'd defer to you for comments, and then whatever the will of the mayor and council is, we'll move forward.
President, Mr. Durr, Mr. Kipner, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Robert, Mr. Manager. I am, for the record, Neil Wolf, head cheerleader at New Mexico Highlands University. Grateful to be here today and grateful for the community support. As Robert mentioned, when we went to the city council meeting, it was a pleasant surprise that they decided to go back to the 70. But it is your will, and we will take whatever partnership we can take as we grow the golf course. I think part of that has to do with some of the goodwill that's been garnered over the past maybe couple of years as we've had better management on our side and had better partners running the golf course. If you would, I got a couple stats here from Aaron. I just want to give you a couple highlights. Total activity from 2024 was 6,633. And that's rounds or golf driving range activity. This past year that we've recently completed, any guesses?
Just curious how many this guy has played.
Yeah, right. So half of them were him. 10,986. So that was a 66% increase of activity at the golf course over this past year. In terms of individual people, only one of them was Benito, or Councilor Pacheco. But we had in terms of 9-hole players, we had an 18% increase, bringing over 3,200 people to the golf course, and that's unique people. 500 or so additional folks played 18 holes, and those are unique individuals. So it was a big increase. We had an increase in membership, play, junior customers increased by 81%. So we're pretty happy about the youth being out there a little bit as well. But we just, Highlands invested as well in new greens mowers to fairway mowers because the equipment that the university had supplied for that project was inadequate. And so we made an investment in there. So I think in terms of budget, we are we saw some of the increases in expenses, but also increases in revenues because the people increased play. And so we're managing a good operation where we are within budget. So we appreciate your support, and we appreciate what this allows us to do. We have agreed in principle, verbal, with the land development entity to then break ground. The goal is to break ground this summer. And we'll see what we need to do all that. But we've agreed in principle for a land developer to work on the project there. So we're pretty excited about that. As the golf course improves, the project for the houses on the golf course will also improve. So we appreciate where we are headed with that. Anything that you would add, Aaron or Brandon?
I will say, since we haven't been here for a while, we did finish creating the research park. So we've been talking about that with you over the past year. So that was a big push forward, formally recognized by the state, and got our IRS tax number, so ready to move forward with that. We've been very aggressive. We have a private donor who I think is going to help us redo the driving range and sort of get some increased amenities there. And any extra money helps us have a little bit of cushion and improve the golf course, because that's what we hear from a lot of the people who use the course. Is it's great, it's up and running, it's great, it's stable. What are our ideas to sort of help move that forward with a little bit of extra money?
So part of the golf course, the driving range improvements, we're working on lights. So people can use it into the evening. So excited about that. And we have a new deck on the east side of the clubhouse. Anything?
I can talk about equipment and how great it is, because the new mower, the play is going to increase. And so I'll just repeat what they would say, but with the equipment, the greens mower that we got out there, it actually is like a haircut. It pulls it up and cuts it and trims it. So the play is going to be a lot better than what we've had before. But there's just improvements in the vendor that we have out there right now. I think it's all melding together to have a very good experience for the community.
An opportunity for excuses for missed putts from
So Mr. Fleury and Mr. President, so with that mower, are you anticipating an increase in birdies on the course?
Yes.
Okay.
So if one other quick, go ahead.
Oh, you good?
Hold on, Mike. Were you done? Counselor?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Manager?
I just wanted to add two pieces that I think are important for to put on the record. Mayor, the governing body already provided support of the agreement that gives capacity to Highlands to work with NMDOT to access additional funds that are going to be a lot more resources than they've been able to access. They had a meeting last week, so we're in communication. We'll make sure that works happens in concert with our finance department, but I just wanted to note that on the record. The other thing in concept, I think that's a good term. In concept, Highlands University and the golf course agreed to work on an access point between the rec center and the golf course trail, and that's a mechanism that we can use to have our people that go to the rec center to be able to access the trail, to be able to access other potential exercise equipment similar to what the city has done along Gallinas. But so those are two points I wanted to put on the record that in my conversations with President Wolf as well as Chairman Sanchez and Aaron that they're, and Brandon, we haven't talked directly on that, but I think they're lockstep with considering that as potential improvements and more coordination as we advance.
Thank you. And I just want to make one comment, and thank you for addressing the in-kind. I know that was something that, I know that we have afforded, Arnold's team has gone out there and done some work previously, and then this year even more with the new equipment that we purchased, which, it looks awesome. And at the end, whatever we do to help improve the golf course at the end is going to beautify our whole community. So I just wanted, I know at the end of the day, I just want the community to know that it's not just the monetarily, commitment that we have, but also the in-kind. And I think it's important that as we move forward, that in-kind is also counted, because it's going to provide, the amount of hours, equipment time, So I just wanted to make sure as we move forward that we keep track of that and it's documented some way. And I know I was participated the end part of your meeting with the golf course, and you know, you guys were understanding to that. So I thank you guys for being considerate of that. Councillor Casey and then Councilman Montoya, Martinez.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, no.
Okay. I just
Montoya
have
will go next.
a quick question, and maybe it's not even relevant, but to me it is, because I read everything and reread it again. On the amendment, under the very last part, number 2, no other changes. In the bold print, it says, all other terms, conditions, obligations, and provisions of the MOA remain unchanged and in full force and effect. But if you look at the original one, on, let me see what page. I have too many papers here. It says that, I even marked it, now I can't find it. Under number 7 of page 3, it says NMHU will make the golf course available for the 2024 New Mexico County's Annual Conference and Golf Tournament and Rodeo in June 2024, absent unforeseen circumstances that prevent such availability. Do we just leave that language there, even though it's not relevant anymore, or?
That's our understanding, because we're keeping it together. That event had already played out.
Yeah.
And so in that language, if you look at it, it shows for 3 seasons, so we have one more season coming up. And so, yeah, we're fine keeping everything the same.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you so much.
Councilman Martinez, Martinez.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. I wanted to bring a couple of things to light. I know when we first agreed on this, it's been we're already on year 3, am I correct? Last year, I wanted to make sure that we had, you know, our 2 high schools, you know, and they're still involved because it's here, you know, in print, that they get to participate and have use of the golf course free. So I appreciate that a whole lot, because how else can you build, you know, a golf team and so forth if you don't have that starting from the 2 districts that we have? The other thing is, I guess, has Highlands put together a golf team already, or I know that there was a little holdback on that for some time, but I don't know if they did or not finally.
It's a good question, Counselor. So in we have our athletic director, and our committee of the Board of Regents for athletics has developed a long-term plan for the adding of new sports. The first thing that we want to do is make sure our current sports are fully funded. And so there's probably a couple of years before we meet that goal. Next, the slate of new sports that Highlands is looking to add, the current will of the Board of Regents and this administration, would be women's wrestling, men's track, and men's and women's golf. So it's in our plan, but it'll take us a little bit to get there in order to do that.
Okay, yeah, I know that classroom environment for you guys, that would be beneficial financially.
Yes.
To support that, correct? So that's why I bring it to light, because I know it was
Correct.
communicated before, and I wanted to just share that with the community, but.
And thank you for bringing that up. Just a quick we are teaching courses now that people can take courses on the golf course. So that's available for people to take, and that's something that we didn't do in the first couple of years of the agreement. We're now
And I do appreciate the, you know, the MOU with the city of Las Vegas. I think it's a good thing. It benefits the entire community. It brings in people from the outside as well, and it brings in, you know, our GRT and, you know, everything just starts to move up, and I appreciate that very much. One other question I do have, and the city of Las Vegas has funded, you know, the golf course for several years, and I think we should always have a partnership moving forward, definitely. But I also know that the golf course has had its trials in holding its finances, you know, for the past few years. I guess maybe in the back of my mind, maybe some kind of a long-term plan that would be initiated to, you know, to to our city manager so that we can kind of get a feel, not necessarily to stop the help. I think it's always good to have that partnership, but just something that we could say, in 10 years, that thing will be self-supportive of its, of its own finances. I think it's a good MOU moving forward, and I think especially with the housing development project that you guys are looking into, it's a win for our entire community. So I'm not saying I'd ever stop anything, but I think it would be nice to just kind of get a feel for future plans for that, for the feel of that.
Yeah, thank you, Counselor. And one of the commitments that we'll always make is to live within our budgeted means. Golf courses typically aren't moneymakers unless they're private and you charge $400 or $500. I think this is a good opportunity, a good example of where Highlands, the county, and the city work together to make it a community asset. And so I think that what we're comfortable doing is being committed to the budget that we agree to, and that's why we have this shared committee that kind of talks about it between the three entities. So your point is well taken, and this is not something that we certainly pocket away money for and use for other purposes. But the money, like the items that we used to purchase, we even use dollars that we get for equipment and renewal to help provide assets to the course. So your point's well taken. It's always going to be a struggle for us to do that, but we'll always stay within budget.
Thank you for being upfront, and we know, I think all city councilmen and women here know that golf courses really are not big generators of dollars, but they do support communities in so many different ways. So, you got a little restaurant out there, it provides, for that as well. All of them are good moving parts moving forward, so I appreciate that transparency, and let's move forward, I think that's a good direction. Thank you.
Councilman Pacheco?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have some comments in terms of the golf course. Mr. Martinez, I share your perspective in terms of the youth use. And as has been noted through my comments, I'm a golfer at the golf course, or sometimes I try to be a golfer. Depends which day it is. So, but it's great to see specifically the team that I see out there when I'm out there the most is both Robertson and West, but Coach Olivari at West Las Vegas, I have to give him a shout out. He has so many young men and women out there that they interrupt my tee time, which is a great thing, right? It's probably one of the largest golf teams in the state of New Mexico, actually. It's quite large, I would say. So we're doing a great job of providing youth an opportunity to participate in a lifelong sport, because that's what golf is. And it's not just a sport. It's a opportunity to network and expand your perspective with other individuals out there. You meet people from all walks of life on the golf course. In terms of being ecologically sound, the gray water that we use on that course is best used on that course. It is an environmentally friendly way to use our water. It doesn't do us much use if we don't use it, but it provides, of course, the reduction on our potable water, but it provides minerals and other things that we wouldn't get through potable water into that facility. And actually, there's some scientific evidence that it provides a cooling effect for the community, right? The other thing that I talk about, and you've heard many times from me, is perception is greater than reality. And when we have travelers coming through town, and for those years that we had that golf course out there as a brown, dying patch of land, it's not a good perception. It just leads to the increased perception of Las Vegas as a dying town. So it's nice to see something green in the middle of town that maybe someone isn't going to be a tourist here. They're staying at one of the local motels. But they see that golf course and they take an opportunity to play around on golf and have a lunch at a restaurant here in Las Vegas. And that may bring them back. In terms of the finances, I look at the golf course much like I do the rec center. It's never likely going to turn a profit. That's just the nature of things that are for the betterment of society. It's up to our taxes and other resources to make sure we sustain those. But I look at it as a quality of life area here in Las Vegas. It's one of those things where it's an opportunity for us to get out, enjoy ourselves, and get some of that sunshine and fresh air that is so abundant here in New Mexico. So I just want to put those points out there before we consider the vote and moving forward on this action item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. President. You guys, the golf course has been there for years and years and years. It's a beautiful place. But we have, I don't know if there's problems out there or, we're not getting the right golfers out there and we're not advertising for a tournament or something. And I think you guys have to take a look at that because we just look at the different parts of it. But it is something for our community and for the outsiders. And if we don't put it out there, we're not going to get the right people in there. But it's really a beautiful place, and I've seen it all my life. And you guys are there, and you guys are the thinkers, so we gotta take care of it as much as we can. Thank you for everything.
Mr. Manager.
Mayor, Council, 2 points that came to mind based on comments that I heard. So the other thing that the committee and Highlands has done is they're committed to looking at alternative uses for the golf course that complement the work of the city. And so we're looking at options for the 4th of July parade. I know that's something that the mayor brought up. And so those are things that we're going to continue to discuss. But to your point, Councilor Ulibarri, in the committee meeting just the other day, we discussed the reality that you're pursuing tournaments, you're bringing in people, beds and heads. Is that right, Lucas? Is that the right term?
Yes, sir.
And so there's also the potential, heads and beds, something like that. There's also the potential to put presentations together to access other city resources for that advertising that you just brought up, Counselor. So that actual discussion did take place with the committee. So I would just add those 2 other points on the record. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Martinez.
I'd like to cut through the chase, I guess. I'd like to move to approve amendment number 1, memorandum of agreement with the City of Las Vegas, San Miguel County, and Highlands University to include the amended increase or funding in the amount of from 60 to 70,000.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Martinez, second by Councilor Casey. Roll call.
Counselor Pacheco?
I'd like to make comment before I vote, please.
Councilman
So for
Pacheco.
the sake of transparency, I do work at Highlands University. But for the record, I'd like it to be clear that operations of the golf course are not under my purview, and I have no authority over any of the golf course operations. So it's completely separate from my duties at Highlands University. With that on the record, my vote is yes.
So, Mr. Attorney, that's a suffice disclosure statement?
I think it's very sufficient.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Martinez, a second by Counselor Casey. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Isn't it wonderful? I remember my first time here, it was, what are you going to do about the golf course? And here we're having a very different conversation about how we can make this an even better asset for the community. So thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your suggestions and guidance, and the sky's the limit. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor, moving on to our next item, request approval of resolution number 2606 to apply for and assuring of matching funds for the cooperative agreement program for a total project amount of $141,153.73. We have our Public Works Director, Mr. Arnold Lopez.
Councilors, before we get to this, I just want to ask, I know some of these agreements are, that come up, I mean, usually they're typically yeses. I don't think we'd ever pull them out, but just moving forward, you know, for the sake of speeding things up, are you guys okay if I put these on consent? And if you guys ever want to question them more detail, we could pull them out. Is that fair?
I'm all right with that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so, thank you. So with that, I'll just ask council, what's the pleasure? I don't think we're going to have too many questions for Mr. Lopez.
I move that we approve resolution 2606 to apply for and assure that we have the matching funds for the cooperative agreement program for a total project amount of $141,153.73.
Second, Mr.
Councilor Casey, second by Councilman Olivari. I don't know if that was discussion or seeing none. No, roll call.
Mr. Mayor.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Just a quick comment before I vote. It's a little outside of this particular item. However, I just want it on the record again, and Mr. Castellano, you know, we'd appreciate your guidance. I know this isn't a contract per se. We did vote on a contract a little earlier that had a one-year term. And when we're considering these things, even if they're in the consent agenda, I would recommend that we consider either a dollar amount or a term limit on our contracts where we require review at a certain point. So directors considering that moving forward, just Mr. Manager. But with that, I do vote yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 4, request approval of resolution number 2607 to apply for and assuring of matching funds for the municipal arterial program grant for a total project amount of $280,249.21.
What's the pleasure of the council?
I move to approve resolution 26-07.
Councilman Pacheco, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Martinez. Roll call.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Pacheco, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to item 5, request approval to enter into a 5.5-year lease agreement with 411 Equipment and Tax Exempt Leasing Corp. Mr. Lopez.
Thank you. Mayor and council, I come for approval of this lease agreement to enter into for a sweeper. Our current sweeper it has been repaired and will be returned hopefully on Friday. We can transfer it back to Las Vegas and put it in operation again. But the demand of debris and just total demand throughout the city requires an additional sweeper and able to provide a better service. So plans are to have 2 sweepers, you know, available to us. And again, if one goes down or something, we're still able to continue providing that service. So we went out and sought quotes on this. We only had two contractors that actually put in a bid for this, and this is the best price that we got on a exact type of sweeper that we're looking for. Stand for questions.
Pleasure of the council.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the 5.5-year lease agreement with 411 Equipment and Tax Exempt Leasing Corporation.
Motion by Councilor Casey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Martinez. Discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Lopez. I don't know. There we go. I think you can hear me now. I just have a question because I see it's a lease for a piece of equipment, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it standard procedure that we would lease that type of equipment rather than buy?
I would prefer if we could purchase, if somebody's willing to give me that money, I'd rather purchase it. But it's just an alternative way of, you know, purchasing and providing, you know, equipment to our department. It's an option.
Okay, so what would be the difference, the cost difference, I guess? Because I see it's an annual payment of $60,500 or let's round it up, 61,000, right?
Yes.
As
and-
opposed to, what's the total price of buying as compared to the total cost of the lease?
Obviously, it's a little cheaper because there is some finance, and I don't have that, and sorry for not being prepared with that amount. I don't have it in front of me, so if I tried to answer that, I'd probably be lying.
Counselor, Mayor, if you look at the sheet on the letter that was written to Mr. Goulet by the company, they provide an estimated total equipment cost of thousand, that doesn't reflect the equipment, that's only the total of the lease agreement, Mr. Lopez?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's for the total lease.
We can get that.
I'm just curious what because the lease is 292, and I'm curious what the cost of buying that equipment would be. I trust that it's substantially more, just for my information. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
And actually, we do have, if you look on the last page, there is actually an amount in there. And it looks like, well, but that's the amount of 286, so, but no, yeah, there's some other stuff that was added to it. But yeah, we can provide that though.
Thank you.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that. Yes, sir.
Roll call? Roll call?
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
I just wanted to make one final comment. We always do have an option to outright purchase and, you know, and get out of that lien at any point, no, not lien, but lease. So it comes with an option to purchase at any time.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Moving on to our next item, number 6, request approval of resolution number 2605 to apply for funding to the New Mexico Finance Authority for the lead line copper rule project. We have our water director, Mr. Travis Martinez.
Mayor, council, as you guys know, this project is one that's been very, very hectic. And this one is brought to you through EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. This is nationwide. So as it stands right now, Utilities Department has submitted all documents. We are working with all the schooling right now to get all of their documents in order. The next step for us to go out is going to be construction. The city of Las Vegas does not have the manpower to do this. It's going to have to be a third party. As I explained before, which I'm going to be coming with another presentation shortly, once we move to the next process, but that construction is going to be where we bring in a third party and they're going to have to check the inlet and downstream side of each individual meters, depending on AI is the next thing. We're still waiting for EPA to determine that. So with that in mind, we did get a cost estimate of what it's going to cost the city. It's going to cost the city around 800,000. 750, 800,000 depending. So during this time, before we get to that, we would like to go out and we'd like to apply for funding. And in order for us to apply for funding through this process, we have to get this resolution in.
It's the pleasure of the council.
Mayor, I know that it's been really difficult dealing with this particular mandate. And I move that we approve resolution number 2605 to apply for funding to the New Mexico Finance Authority for the lead line copper rule project.
By Counselor Casey, do you have a second? Second. Second by Councilman Martinez. Discussion, seeing none, roll call.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries. Moving on to item number 7, request to award request for proposal 2026-08 for on-call extermination services to Elite Pest and Weed Solutions and enter into contract. Mr. Martinez.
So with this RFP, we went out because we've been this is a citywide contract, just to let everybody know. Any department can use it, but there at the wastewater, we've been having a rodent issue this past year, and we've been having exterminators there, and it's been quite difficult to get it scheduled out based on the state contract, as well as we've been having issues at the water treatment plant with insects, wasps, everything, and so we went out, we got everything for our services, which have to be NSFA certified for the water treatment wastewater, and we only had one bidder.
Thank you. What's the pleasure of the council?
Councilman, have a question, sir?
Pacheco?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, thank you, Mr. Martinez. I reviewed the proposal, and I do have some concerns. One is one bid. I'm never comfortable typically moving forward with one bid, even if we went through the process. The other question I have is I don't see a dollar amount within the contract. We have per visit, so is the pricing per visit, per facility? Is it hourly? I don't see that spelled out within the proposal. I don't see a rate schedule, and I don't see a cap on the number of visits or hours. Are those things that I missed within the packet, or are those missing from the packet, sir?
Hold on real quick, let me pull it up real fast. So if you look back here on, I guess at the end of their proposal, it says attachment, on-call extermination services. All the prices that they have over here are there on the back. So they have it based on ants, spiders, cockroaches, files, $135 per treatment. They have their bed bug inspection, $100. They have routine pest control services, interior and exterior, $135 per visit. They have monthly preventative services, which is $135 per building. They have quarterly preventative service, $200. Now, these are just rates. That's not like we're gonna utilize them quarterly, monthly, whatever. Basically, what we're planning to do and use is emergency response, which is normal hours, or emergency after hours. And that's based on what type of infestation we have at that time. So if you really look at it, it's $125 per response, or $150. And then hazardous infection response, those are with rattlesnakes, anything like that. We do come across them sometimes. Not at the water treatment facility, but, wastewater and stuff like that. So basically, right here, it's not a bid per se as to what it is, but it's a proposal. So each proposal stands for standard rates.
Okay.
And we did reach out to other companies to propose, but when it comes down to proposals,
I understand, sir. So I thank you for your insight. Is this a vendor that we have used in the past? And if so, what was the amount of the last annual contract that we had with this vendor?
so this is the first time we've ever had a contract with this vendor. We've called them out on quotes, when that's based on 3 quotes. We've utilized them. I don't know if any of the other departments have utilized this company, but we've used them based on a 3-quote standard for procurement.
Mr. Madrid, would you have an anticipated cost or estimate of what this service would cost on an annual basis?
On an annual basis, no, but I did review the schedule, and they are comparable to the other services that other departments use for extermination and regular treatment. They're comparable. And I might add that this is an on-call contract. As Mr. Martinez said, they'll only be used as needed. And there's not a minimum service or minimum charge.
So I'm just gonna, my thoughts at this point is, I know we're not voting yet, but I'm not gonna be comfortable moving forward. I'd like to see more than one vendor. However, I know we went through the process, so it's not a criticism of what we've done, but I would just like to put it back out to RFP and see if we could solicit some additional vendors to maximize our competitive price on the matter. And that's where I stand on this, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Counselors, any other?
Mayor. I guess I wanted to ask a question in reference to maybe the senior center. Do you use similar services like that at the senior center? I'm not even sure if you do or not.
We do. We have pest control services. It's done on a 3-quote process because we don't use anyone or we can't find anyone with a state contract. So we do it with 3-quote service, quarterly and as needed also. And we quote the whole year for a 12-month period.
Well, and I kind of like some of the information that Councilor Pacheco mentioned, which refers to a cap, that kind of is important. On-call services as needed, I can understand that as well, but, where do we draw the line and say, that's enough, or, you know what I think I'm getting at, but anyway, thank you, June, for that information as well.
Yes, sir.
If I may reiterate the proposal on the contracts, everything's based off of a task order. So on that task order, you have a set price of what your scope of work is. That's basically what this contract would represent, on-call services. So, for instance, like we used them last time at wastewater, we had a rodent issue. We tried to get somebody, like the way that June said that she utilizes them, they told us they can't do it, they didn't have time. We called somebody that did have a state contract, they told us that there was no way that they could do it. They didn't have the time either. So we went out, we got the 3 quotes, they were the ones that came in the cheapest. We utilized them. If I would have had the contract, I would have had the rodent issue taken care of a lot sooner. But due to the fact of the 3-quote process, you gotta wait your 2 weeks, you gotta wait to get your PO. It was almost an entire month before I got the rodent issue taken under control. If by then, if I had a walkthrough with NMED or anything like that, I would have got a violation based off of what we had found at the time. So moving forward, it was just our process to do something to move something forward as quick as possible for on-call basis as needed. Specialized services for our specialized work. And like we said, when we did go out to proposal, we did reach out to multiple people that we knew that did this stuff. And I mean, we just nobody responded other than who we've already utilized before. And the only reason that's, for one, we've utilized them a few times. Like I said, we utilized them at the water treatment and we utilized them at the wastewater facility. And they've done good for us. So like I said, moving forward, there can always be a cap based on operations. That's your budget that we have as directors. Am I right, Morris? Right. So the way that you can track this, just because they have the contract, you have to get your task order. Your task order is based off the contract. And they give you, it's a quote, same thing, it's a quote. They give you, it's gonna cost you $500 to do the entire water treatment facility to get rid of your wasps. Well, that task order is based off of that, of your quote, submitted to finance, and that goes against your budget for operations. And like I said, when you have a set cap, it's based off of your budget.
Councilor Casey, do you have anything?
I just want to say that on-call services are very hard to come by. Speaking from personal experience from having been superintendent in several school districts, I had one that was very rural, and I could not get anybody to come out to get rid of rattlesnakes and all kinds of vermin. And by the time I found somebody, I was so desperate that actually I went to Walmart and bought a bunch of mothballs and put them everywhere to keep whatever away from the children. And so when I finally did get somebody, I was so happy, and it was on an as-needed basis with a task order, and that worked perfectly, and we were able to control how much money we were spending out of the budget that we had that line item for. So I think you did the right thing.
And if anything, you guys know me, specialized contract for specialized work, because I utilize that all the time with water, wastewater. There are certain things that my techs can't do that professionals do, and as we get them on-call, we utilize that. So this will be treated the same way.
Mr. Mayor, so I had just one comment, Mr. Manager. Just for the record, we've tried the quote system, and I'm kind of looking at all the directors here. We've tried the quote system, it doesn't work. The reason why you went to RFP was to get that specialty work. It was advertised on the Optic, the Journal, and the city website, and we still only got one. And plus, you made calls for others to bid, is that?
Yes, sir. So the people that we've asked to quote, that have quoted us before, we've told them that there is a proposal coming out, and we told them, please propose. You know, we like competition. But as it came, there's only one proposer, I mean.
Okay. So with that being said, I think we've done everything on that part, but one part that I am going to agree with Councilor Pacheco here, and this goes beyond other contracts, and I think this might be what he's getting to, and me, I've had it personally with, our water operators, you know, and I think I've had the opportunity to talk to you, Mr. Attorney, is that I think from us, yes, we don't see the task, I mean, from our perspective, we don't see the task orders, right? We don't see the scopes or how much money is getting spent. I mean, unless we really, really, you know, that's why we have people in the finance committee that do that. But I think from our perspective is we like to see when we approve some of these contracts that there is a cap, right? Whether it's 60,000 or 80,000. And then if it gets to that point, I mean, there's enough time. I mean, you know what I mean? You're not gonna spend 80,000 in 1 month to where, but some caps to where we see that, you know, if the need is, it hits that certain level, that it's come before us and say, hey, you know what, we hit because A, B, and C came up, you know, that were beyond our control. Well, there's that opportunity where we say, okay, well, that's understandable. And I don't think, I mean, I can honestly say we don't have that kind of thing happening the way I used to question it more in the past. But I think that's probably what Councilman, you know, him being the new guy, seeing that, hey, well, we should have caps. And I know I had really, really fought for that in the past. I'm more comfortable with our directors now to, you know, there's some, they're and our finance that, you know, we're watching those things. But if we could move forward in contracts where Mr. Attorney and, you know, finance and procurement, it's not gonna hurt if we do put some caps on these contracts when they're presented to us, if that's fair. Is that, Mr.?
And to an extent, we do have control, because in our procurement system, we recognize that under the State Purchasing Act, a small purchase is anything up to $19,999. So if we see a requisition for a purchase order at that level or above, we question and say, show us the procurement. Up to that level, it's okay, but to go beyond that level requires a whole different process. So there is a certain extent of control for that.
But even on an RFP level, the RFP level goes beyond the 60,000.
Yes.
I mean, that's, I mean, even on the RFP where, I mean, you can still, let's say, do a 60,000, just, so I guess, so the oversight, you know, I know Mr. Witters will catch it out there, but, you know, just so that we have some type of oversight at this level when it gets that high, if that's fair.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with my mic here. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, Mr. Madrid, I do agree with you. There's a level of control. However, for RFP, and that's one level of control, as Mr. Martinez has indicated, and you've agreed, the budget's one level of control.
Right.
However, it's still, I think, the purview of the governing body. We cannot approve a contract not have an idea of how much of that particular line item in the budget it's going to use. So let's just say, for example, that water treatment is allotted, and I'm just making a number here, 100,000. And we're spending 60% of that budget on a particular contract. That's something that we need to be aware of. And I'm not saying that's the case here, but that's what I bring forward as I'm analyzing some of these financial matters.
So if I can speak to that, the RFP is for specialized services.
Yes,
That's what the RFP is. So based on that, and Morris can stop me if he can, the RFP is based on a strictly standard service that's being provided.
I realize, sir. I'm familiar with RFPs.
If you want, we could go out to bid for a year, and we could get the total amount for a bid for all my departments, and that'll put the level of the cap on what you're asking for. That we can do.
What I would prefer to see is an outright contract for the entire city, right? Rather than one area, because that's gonna maximize our dollar. We, Mr. Manager, we have more leverage and bargaining power if we're going to seek a larger contract for all services. And then that doesn't cover just one department. So if Lucas has a problem at the rec center, we use the same vendor. If we have a problem at the senior center, we use the same vendor. We already have someone in place. So it's a one-stop for all matter. No one has to go out on their own, at their own purview, to make a separate contract. Let's cover the city with one contract and use our bargaining power. And maybe we use that bargaining power for a larger contract with other larger entities, and we pool our resources and we say, okay, we want to enter a contract for services with Las Vegas, the city of Las Vegas and Luna and, I don't know, the state hospital. And we use that bargaining power.
Hold on, I had the city manager.
Couple things. I would just note that as you were talking, Counselor, one of the things that I think that I'm hearing that would be beneficial to everyone, Mayor and Council, is that we do an FIR type summary that is in front of the contracts that we have with a summary of what the contents is behind. So the legislature does it constantly with bills, and I think we can implement some additional pieces of information that provide more detail as to financially what's the fiscal impact of the contract at hand. So I'm gonna just say that up front. We're gonna make some modifications to our packets, and I'm gonna work closely with the department heads, but in particular, the finance director, to make sure we have those summaries. The last item, we had the discussion that came up relative to additional options on cost of equipment, and so those are the types of things that we can offer within that type of document and summary. So we'll provide that, and we'll begin to build that into our overall structure. What I'll say with respect to your question and in defense of the team is this actual conversation that you're bringing up about the use of this contract happened in the directors meeting and happens on a regular basis. I concur with you that the more we can leverage collective contracts around common services across the city, that we do that. In this particular situation, we couldn't get an individual off the state price agreement, which is one of the go-tos that we utilize. And so I'm also in agreement that the more quotes we can get, the better. Couple that with a rodent issue or a challenge with insects, I supported it coming forward so that we can get that mitigated. But I hear you, and I think to the full council's concern, it's, transparency, information, not just for you, but for the public, and maximizing our dollars that we have and our dollars spent. And so I don't think that answers every question, but I hear what you're saying, and we can build in practices going forward on this one. It's a tough one. We want to try and get the service in, but I hear you loud and clear. I hear the council loud and clear.
Pacheco, do you wanna? I know I had June.
I just want to note that it's not a criticism of the team, our management team at all. It's just a perspective. It's just, so it's healthy discussion. So it's respect to every director and every thought that's gone into this, and just continuing discussion as we consider the matter. So I just want that to be clear, Mr. Manager, and thank you for your input.
Thank you. Ms. June, I don't know if you wanted to add to that. Nice.
Yes, sir, I would like to. I understand why Travis did the RFP. Sometimes we have specialized issues, or we need immediate service, and another vendor, which we've gone out for quotes on or something, is not available at the time and immediately as you need it. And so I think he was trying, sir, to go that process and get one vendor for all city departments. And I think that's where he was headed with this. And I understand it, but if not all of them quote on his or propose on his RFP, then you have one vendor. We have different issues. We have different issues at the senior center, library, and museum, which I have the same vendor for all three facilities. So I understand his side too, though.
I appreciate your perspective, ma'am.
The only reason we did this is because when it comes to the water, wastewater, it's something that I need then and there. And like I said, when we did have that rodent problem there, it took us almost an entire month to get somebody out there to clean it up. If NMED or anybody had came in at that time, I would have had a serious violation. So that's the point of this contract.
And if I could just say, Trav, I know there's other discussion about contracts in general, and that's some of the discussion happening here with this one item. Like, not to be personal, it's just the discussion overall on all contracts. It's just, this was a topic where I think it opened up that can a little bit.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I mean, I think, you did your best. It's just, I know in talking with him, that's the overall concern with all contracts. And I think we've had the opportunity to speak with legal on that too. So it's just, the can opened on that one, and you just ended up at the,
Yeah,
on
no,
the- right there. So.
I'm used to that one. I mean, you'll see a lot of my contracts, there's always just one vendor, and that's because they specialize in that type of work, and it's hard to get other vendors, so.
So with that, Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to table RFP 2026-08.
I have a motion to table. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion to table by Councilman Pacheco, a second by Councilman Martinez
Yeah, we need
Yes.
to get this past us,
to table it.
to table it. I will go with it, yeah.
Okay, so a table, just for the record, we'll just move it to another meeting. No changes can be made.
So, okay, I would
There's
like,
no discussion on a tabling motion. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Robert's Rules
I
of
withdraw
Order.
the motion. My motion would be to reject and open for additional RFP and consideration for services to the entire city.
And I was just clarifying what happens on a table. Councilor Casey.
Thank you, Ms. Casey.
So I have a motion to reject and rebid, basically.
Mr. Mayor, if, table it to what date? What meeting?
He's removing his, rescinding that, and he's making a motion to reject.
reject it.
I have a motion by Councilman Pacheco.
It was for the whole city? Is that what it was?
It's for the contract, for that
Reject.
item.
For the whole
I
city,
would like
correct?
to look, my recommendation is that we look for a contract that covers the entire city.
Well, that's what this RFP is, it's citywide.
It's citywide?
Yeah, this contract would
I
be
thought it
for.
was specific to you.
No,
Still,
no,
I would like
it's-
to see more than one vendor. My motion stands is to reject
a-
the
a
contract
motion
and
to
go out
reject.
back to RFP.
Motion to reject and go back for RFP by Councilman Pacheco. Do I have a second? Again, I have a motion to reject and rebid. Do I have a second? Last call. Motion, I have a motion to reject and rebid. Motion fails. I'll entertain another motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve RFP 2026-08 for on-call extermination services to Elite Pest and Weed Solutions and enter into contract.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Councilman Martinez. Roll call.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes, as long as they go with the contract. Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
No.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I just would like
Councilman
to make
Martinez?
one small comment. I think we've whipped this enough to keep an eye on it. So I think that we're okay moving forward, but I think it's the pleasure of the council to set it up different and to look for alternative vendors. I know we're in an area where Las Vegas does not sit in an area where those services can be. Right, they're not easily accessible, so we have to sometimes, go with that. So that's all I could say is, I think we need to just move forward.
And like I've said before, this is a citywide contract. any one of the departments can utilize it. And then number two, like I've always said, just because we have the contract doesn't mean we have to use it. The contract is there for an as-needed basis. If there's other scope of work or anything like that that we can get at a better price, we go out for quote or we go out for bid. Like I said, there's contracts that we do have in place that I don't utilize because there's other ways that we can get it, but as far as on-call services, that's the reason for it.
Thank you. And I think the city manager and finance director saw the yellow flag come up, so caution. Thank you.
Ready.
Sounds good.
Mr. Mayor, moving on to our next item, request approval of resolution number 2604 to approve the sale of obsolete city assets at an online auction. We have our finance director, Mr. Morris Madrid.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. What you got in your packet seems like a lot. It's a start. I'll give you just a little bit of background. The items that you see that we're proposing for auction, first of all, your approval is required to surplus these items. We can't do anything to dispose of them, sell them, or anything without your approval. That's why it's on the agenda. A little background is the items that you see here were deemed to be by department directors obsolete, unusable, not worthy of keeping any longer. That's why they're here. We do have an auctioneer lined up. The fee is 10% of whatever they generate. This is the only time that the State Purchasing Act allows for commission. Otherwise, we cannot pay commission. In this case, we can. It'll be 10% of whatever is generated. It'll be online for 2 weeks. The reason that you have all this information in there is we need all this types of information to provide to the auctioneer so that they can conduct the auction. This is the first option for a lot of the vehicles and equipment. Most of the vehicles are in running condition, some of them are not. The pieces of equipment are in different stages of repair. Most everything is operable. It's either been replaced or it's obsolete, for us anyway. So the sale will be the first option. By surplusing, you also give the city administration an option, if it's not sold, to donate it, to recycle it. For example, if we have cars that don't run and are not bought, we can take them and sell them for scrap metal and get something for them. We can recycle them. For example, some of the computers. Some of those components are recyclable and we don't want to put them in the landfill. The last option is to throw the things away. So that's how it would work. There's over 60 items in this list. This is a process that's been long overdue. It is not final by any means. There are some vehicles that took longer to get paperwork for titles to that are not included here. We will bring back more items in I'll say by the end of the calendar year for another auction. But I ask your approval for this particular batch.
It's a pleasure, Council. Councilman Ulibarri.
Sir, the only thing I don't see here is how many items are you gonna put on this resolution or
There's 61 items.
items?
Yes.
Some of these items are, you're talking about cars and equipment that you have that's been absolute or they're no good or?
Some of it is obsolete, some of it has just been replaced. For example, there's a couple of vehicles that are usable, but they're high mileage, and we purchased some new ones last year to replace them. So they would just stay parked there.
Have you checked with any of the vendors on the product that you're selling and see they give you a total amount of everything that you're gonna sell?
Well, by statute, we have to make it available to everyone. We can't talk to a particular vendor. Once they're surplus, they have to be made available to the public.
So, Mr. Attorney, what's your legal opinion on that?
Yeah, that's 100% correct and consistent with what the statute reads. it would come to the governing body to declare it obsolete at that point. Any property that's declared obsolete by the governing body is required to go out to the public. Then from the public, there's steps, if they're not sold, I think at that point, then you can receive a quote for it. And then if there are no quotes are received, then ultimately you can gift it. And then after nobody accepts the gift, ultimately the governing body can decide to just trash it, I guess is the best way to put it. But everything that Mr. Madrid said is consistent with what the statute reads.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor. Councilor Casey, and then I'll go back to you. Councilor Casey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to know, when was the last time that we had an auction, online auction?
I can't answer that, Councilor Casey. It was before I got here, so it's at least a year and a half.
Okay, and so you wouldn't have any documentation as to how much money was made out of that last auction?
No, but I could get it for you. I can get it for you. We did budget some money. I think it was 20 or 30,000 in anticipation of this. I don't know that we'll generate that, but we did put in a budget estimate for it.
I was just curious as to what kind of money came in from the last auction sale.
Right.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So if I could add to that, I was around when that kind of, not in mayor, but just my knowledge to that is previously they were just going out and having an auction. But when they did the online auction, we did generate more funds, and I know our directors are here, could probably, they're nodding their head, which we did generate more money through the online versus we did just a public auction, so it did do better.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Olivari.
Mr. Madrid, I know that scrap metal prices change every month. So if you really gonna put all these items on whatever you're gonna sell, the online auction, you're gonna have to check and see if these people are giving you the right amount of money. Because they change, prices change. And when you change, you lose and you win. So, it's something that you gotta take a look at before you put everything on the online auction.
Go from there.
Point well taken, Councilor.
Councilman Martinez.
Mayor, yeah, no, thank you. The proceeds of this auction, online auction, would be,
If they are general fund departments, they go into the general fund pool
okay,
under that budgeted revenue line item. If they're an enterprise fund like water, wastewater, solid waste, they go back into that original fund where they were purchased.
Thank you. I wanted to. That's good. What's the pleasure of the council?
I move to approve resolution 26-04.
Motion by Councilor Pacheco, second by Councilman Olivari. Roll call.
Counselor Martinez?
yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Pacheco, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Mr. Madrid, if you don't mind, Mr. Manager, maybe work with the PIO to put, our PIO has done a good job, and I think we have a big network online, so maybe if we could put something out, social media or what it may be, to let them know, maybe that'll help generate. Thank you.
Absolutely, Mr. Mayor. Dominic and I were discussing that this afternoon, and we want to cast a wide net, so you're absolutely right.
Mayor, moving on to our next item, request approval to publish ordinance number 2601, amending Las Vegas Municipal Code, Chapter 409, Trees Section 409-1 through 409-11. We have our Community Development Parks and Rec Director, Mr. Lucas Marquez.
And also, I know we have in the audience Mr. John Spencer, if you don't mind coming up. I know it's something you've been wanting to see happen for quite a few years. Hopefully now that we pass it, you don't retire on us. And welcome, Mr. Spencer. Mr. Marquez.
Mayor, Council, present to you request approval to publish ordinance 2601. I didn't bring my glasses with me. I apologize. That's all right. Let me grab them real quick.
You can come borrow the mayor's.
1 month.
Oh, really? I'm still not there.
So we amending Las Vegas Municipal Code, Chapter 409, Tree Section. I want to start off by apologizing to the council. First off, I've noticed that in the packet, we sent over the actual finalized ordinance, and we didn't send the original so that you could go ahead and distinguish what the change was between the original and the finalized one. But I do want to note that the part that is changed, it's a whole different section. It's 409-11.2, and that section is called City of Las Vegas Green Stormwater Infrastructure Ordinance for New Construction, and it deals with a lot of different things. They felt the benefits of trying to catch storm drain water and using it to its fullest potential, which is watering shrubs or whatever they can call. But they did put a certain set of rules on there. For example, is the letter E, an active or historic acequia will not be disturbed by construction or building, which I find very beneficial to our community with the acequias that we do have running through our community. That's one thing I just want to make sure I apologize to the council about. That's the biggest change. The other small change that was on there was the verbiage of Parks Division Director was changed over to Community Development Director, and that was recommended to us by our city councilor, Mr. Ambrosio Castellano, because he did go through this whole ordinance with us. Had some good changes that we had to put together. We worked with Mr. Spencer back and forth. I've had a privilege of working with Mr. Spencer through this one, and not only that, but I do have a history with him going back from when I first started. So, very knowledgeable board. They're very dedicated to the trees, and they do want to implement a couple more ordinances that I'm going to work with them on to go ahead and go through the code enforcement side with them. So, we'll stand for any questions, or I don't know if Mr. Spencer would like to speak at all.
Say a few words.
I would just mention that this has been a fairly long process, and heard the idea of looking at city ordinances. And one of the things that we took a look at, for just an example of a change that we made, is that if you're going to do work on city trees, you're going to have to show us that you know what you're doing. And that requires then a work permit from the city. I think you can look around and see how occasionally that has been a very big problem for us. But the thing I would really put in front of you is that this has been back and forth between the city and the attorney and ourselves, and I don't know, 2 or 3 cycles, and we believe we've got a good, usable, enforceable new ordinance. It's longer, but we believe it really helps to ensure the future of the urban forests in particular in this town.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilor Casey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick comment. My favorite part of this whole packet was reading about the green stormwater infrastructure, because I think that is really a wonderful idea and something that is very needed. And I just, whoever, brought it up, that it should be added to the ordinance, I want to thank whoever did that. And I'm very pleased to see this. I really, I read it with a fine-tooth comb, let me say, and so I'm very pleased with the ordinance as it's presented. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Olivari.
Thank you, Mr. Marquez. We do need this ordinance because we have elm trees all over town. And we have problems with residents that are doing sewer lines, water lines, gas lines, and the trees are there, and they have a hard times just to get service from the city. But the ordinance is going to take care of these. If people don't take care of the trees or trim them down or what have to do, they're going to have a hard time. Thank you for putting this up. Thank you.
I just want to make a comment. I know this has been something that's been difficult in our community, individuals cutting trees or cutting them wrong, cutting them down. But I do want to state the other part, that within this new ordinance, there's going to be consequences, right? And for those that are really, have been pushing for this, it's gonna take us some time to, if we get somebody that's, violating the ordinance and cutting a tree down, I know our police department ain't gonna be able to like prioritize, or code enforcement prioritize that call, right? So there's gonna be a balance and growing pains as we're going through this ordinances with enforcement, right? In any new ordinance that you do and there's enforcement, there's always those growing pains that we're gonna have to go through. So be patient with us as we, especially code enforcement and police. We don't want Mr. Chief Marquez getting calls and saying, hey, go arrest these individuals. So there's gonna be some growing pains, right, as we go through this, but we'll work with the tree board. I'm sure, community development will work with that, but I think there has to be that growth that we're gonna have to go through this as it's getting enforced.
It also might be worth noting that the ordinance is limited to city trees. If you got a
property.
tree in your yard and it's not a city tree, you can do whatever butchery you want to. Yeah.
One of the major bad words that I heard at the tree board is you can't use the word topping of trees. So we stay away from that word as much as we can. Very informative bunch, and I've appreciated the meetings I've been able to have with them.
Thank you. Councilman Pacheco.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So Mr. Castellano, you've gone through the ordinance, you feel it's ready? Or those changes are within statute?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councilor Pacheco, it was a pretty robust conversation, quite a bit of editing. I think it's, the initial draft that we got was very aggressive. I understood why, but we kind of had to pull back and understand how far we could go in terms of what the city's power is. And so I think it encompasses what the tree board wants to do in terms of the city trees. I think what we've done is clawed back on some of the private property requirements, some of the requirements for incoming industries or incoming buildings. There was some language into prior versions that were requiring certain amount of trees, certain types of, and we want to be very careful not to impose certain restrictions on private developers, things of those sorts. And so I think it complies with everything in terms of any type of statute that we could find. And I think it's prepared, at least for now, for publishing, and then the process can take its course from there.
Thank you, Mr. Castellano. As I read it, I saw it pertains to public land and public trees. Even though I don't agree with tree topping, I agree with private property rights, and if somebody wants to do that on their own property, well, I want their right to be protected as well. So it's a good balance. I appreciate the work. Thank you.
And Martinez?
Mr. Mayor, I just had a question in reference to some of the work that you, city manager, has had our staff doing on right-of-ways, alleys, city parks, any of that work, that it's in collaboration with this ordinance as well.
Mayor, Councilman Martinez, as we advance projects, we'll maintain coordination and communication for compliance with the ordinance, but also communication with the tree board. We did, through Mr. Marcus, Mr. Rudolph, we did go to the tree board and have a discussion with the tree board specifically about the alley cleanup work that we did. We'll continue that practice, but also assure we maintain compliance. One other point tied to city trees, we've already started more and more communication with our utility companies. So they operate under the auspices of public safety oriented around those lines. But I know there's frustration with some of the manner in which some of that health and safety issues are taken for the trees. So we're going to continue to coordinate with our utility companies, PNM in particular, to hopefully work better in coordination to follow the ordinance and also maintain health and safety, which is what they do when they do their trimming. Is that accurate, Mr. Marquez?
It is, sir. And also to add another level of comfort to the council and to the mayor, we do have Jeff Rudolph, who is an actual certified arborist. So he does know which branches should be pruned and which, how to actually take care of trees that might be of age, or any of that type of nuisance that might come across our way. Also, we're sending more of our staff to become arborists, so they're getting training right now, actually in Albuquerque. They just came back, so I'll find out what kind of training they've got yesterday, and we'll start moving forward with that. We're just trying to make sure that the city stays in compliance with our own ordinance that we're going to be putting forward. Everything in public thoroughfares will be looked at closely, and we'll move accordingly, sir.
Thank you very much.
If I might.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
There is specific language in the proposed ordinance with relationship to utilities, and they have the right to make sure that it's safe, you know, and they can take a pretty good chunk of trees, but they get to decide that, and that is in the proposed ordinance.
Yes, it is in there.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, Councilman Pacheco, and then Councilman Olivares.
Well, so just to piggyback off of Councilman Martinez, that idea of the alleyway, that is technically, part of it could be public land, right? So I just want to make sure that we're all right to still remove trees that shouldn't be there under the ordinance.
Oh, under our
public land, you know.
Under our ordinance in particular, in alleyways, the property
The
owner is
property
actually
owners.
responsible for half the alleyway.
What if it's in the middle of the
But
alleyway?
yeah, the reason why we took care of the issues that were in those alleyways were for health and safety and for access for our local fire department and also our ambulances, just in case we may have had a situation, as you see right now, we're under high fire watches right now already, and we haven't even hit spring yet. So, you know, I concur, the city manager had a concern, and we moved forward with it, and you know, I think we did a good thing in that sense.
Thank you, Mr. Marquez.
Councilman Olivares.
Make a motion to request to approve publish ordinance 2601, amendment for the city, for the Las Vegas Municipal Code, chapter 409, 3, and section 409-1 through 409-7.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Olivares, second by Councilor Casey. Roll call.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivares?
Yes.
Have a motion by Counselor Olivares, a second by Counselor Casey. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Manager.
Mr. Mayor, Council, just a comment. Several decades ago, I had the privilege of being a student under the careful, watchful eye of Dr. Spencer, immunology and pathogenic microbiology. I was on a different track, but I just wanted to say on the record that your service on the tree board is not surprising, but you had an impact on my own trajectory, and I very much appreciated your wisdom and guidance and what you did for many, many students while teaching at Highlands University, and that you've continued that spirit of service through yourself and the whole tree board. So I just wanted to say thank you and say that on the record respectfully.
I just would like to say I'm glad you survived, and I hope you will provide informed counsel on immunology and pathogenic bacteriology to the outfit here. But thank you. It's a pleasure to have seen you do so well, and so I guess I must take credit for all of his achievements.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer. And tree days, April 22nd was Arbor Day?
Yeah, there's a couple of choices. New Mexico's Arbor Day is basically in the middle of winter, like if we had one.
Yeah.
And so we observe National Arbor Day, and it is the last Friday in April.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, appreciate you guys, and thank you, Mr. Spencer, for doing this, appreciate
All
it.
right.
Mr. Marcus, if you don't mind staying for this next item?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, moving on to business item number 10, request approval of resolution number 2608, establishing a city events committee and defining its advisory role. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, councilors, I know according to our new charter, we pretty much have to do a resolution, and I know Ms. Cassandra and I have been working with our legal to try to get the full encompass of all the committees. So we're working with Gino on that. Hopefully, I was hoping to get it for next week. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but we're working on that. But this one specifically, I wanted to single this one out to get it done because I know that we're coming up upon the 4th of July fiestas and a lot of work needs to be done. So I know I gave you guys a draft last meeting. I know a recommendation was made by Councilor Martinez. In speaking with the team, I know you had mentioned about the committee getting involved with road closures, and that it was advised, not really, because that's usually a decision with public safety, so we left that out. Just in case you're wondering it wasn't there, I'd be transparent with you. Other than that, nothing really changed. I did want Mr. Marquez, they had their first meeting. If you don't mind, just a couple minutes onto, I know this is big that we adopt this, so they kind of know their roles and their scope. But if you don't mind, kind of how that meeting went?
Sure.
Just kinda talking
So
about-
it was a really productive meeting. First off, it was kind of like an introduction. I pretty much knew all of the people on the board. They kind of knew each other, but now we're working in a capacity where we're all going to be making some pretty, tough decisions coming up to our fiestas. We all know we're pressed for time, so they're looking at having at least weekly meetings, sometimes 2 times a week. We definitely have to follow the new structure that our charter has for us, where we'll have to go ahead and post these meetings. We'll be recording them and making sure we're taking our minutes and doing everything properly. We discussed certain areas of pricing for bands coming in. We've discussed how we're going to go ahead and compile a list of bands, and then we'll go ahead and start seeing where we place them, where they recommend placement of the bands. After all that's said and done, I will then sit myself and my city manager, and we'll discuss it and see if that's what we're looking for. We did mention a couple of ideas, and it's just ideas that we gave them about a lottery, maybe the band's drying times. They didn't feel that was the proper fit for the decision-making because certain bands have obligations, I guess, at other areas at certain times, and that might throw them off. So they didn't want to do it that way. It seems like they're going to go ahead and follow through with those ones. There was a lot of discussion about, the stage and the gazebo. They felt that the gazebo right now, as it sits, is still an ADA compliance issue. So they did. We're going to move forward with the stage. That's something that we are going to do. We've already secured that. They talked about the setup of the plaza, how it's set up, kind of like an amphitheater setup, because where the gazebo is compared to where the stage is at, it kind of draws a little bit of a downward trend, so that acts like an actual natural amphitheater. And if we're up on top of the gazebo, we're spinning the music to the other side. I know that Mr. Lopez has some good ideas coming up now with that grant that he secured for us at Plaza Park, and we're excited for it as well. Once we get that gazebo worked on again, and we get it to the point where we want it, I think that's the best option for the city of Las Vegas, to move it back traditionally to where it belongs, inside the gazebo. And that's pretty much where we stood at.
Thank you, Mr. Marquez. So, pretty much within this resolution, you'll see the basics, scopes and tasks of what the committee shall do. If there's any questions, Mr. Manager, did you have
Mayor and council, because this is something that came up from concerns raised by the previous council. So I just want to be fully transparent. Mr. Marquez is the Director of Community Development and Parks and Recreation. Under those auspices is events. No decisions will be made in a unilateral way by any one individual. We're going to utilize the Events Committee. We're going to utilize staff in the Community Development Department and our leadership and team across all departments, public safety, fire, and all relevant departments, as decisions are made in a collective and transparent manner, brought back to the mayor and council for your review, for your input, as we're moving forward to the ultimate events. And so I just wanted to say that on the record. Heard that loud and clear from some of the concerns raised before, and we are going to work together as a team to mitigate those challenges.
I think, as we all, as I said for Councilman Ulibarri, as we all went through the election cycle, this was a big topic, right? Is one person making all the decisions. So, this events committee fits within that. And it's going to help at the end of the day, The only thing that we did have is, we did offer one spot to KNMX, one to KFUN. KFUN decided to not put an individual on there, but, he was afforded the opportunity, so there's a way that they're discussing about filling that fifth spot. So, we're being as transparent and open. The two radio entities were both afforded the same opportunity, so there's no bias one way or another. So I think we've done it as fair as we can. This resolution just kind of solidifies what that committee will be doing. So with that,
Also fair to say, Mayor, that we got individuals from different sections of the community. They're not just based out of one spot in town. That's the west side, the east side, and the business districts as well.
and I did make my commitment to the district committee when I know myself and Councilman Martinez went to a meeting. I think you were there, Mr. Marcus. We said we would have 2 individuals from the Plaza area and 2 individuals that represent the Plaza area are on that committee. So I think we did what we could to the committee. Thank you. Councilman Martinez. Or-
Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I do move to approve resolution number 2608, establishing the City Events Committee and define its advisory role.
Motion by Councilman Martinez, second by Councilor Casey. Roll call?
Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
Counselor Olivari?
Yes.
Counselor Martinez?
Yes.
Have a motion by Counselor Martinez, a second by Counselor Casey. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion carries.
Thank you. And Mr. Manager, if we could work with Ms. Amanda to, I think this is important that the community knows this, that we put this committee together and they know their roles. So if we could get something out there.
Yes, sir, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mayor, Council, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Marquez.
Mr. Mayor, moving on to our last item, in item 11, request approval of Pep Point Application Service Provider Agreement. We have our Police Chief, Mr. Caleb Marcus.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Mr. Manager. Thank you. So this is a contract that we're looking for a renewal. There was a slight change to it. This is for the microchipping that we utilize around our city, especially with our new ordinance. It's a new requirement. So we do a lot of microchipping for animals that are adopted out of the Animal Care Center. Prior to this new agreement, we were actually paying a monthly subscription, whether we had any adoptions or not. With this new agreement, it's just a set price per microchip. And basically, we're averaging out about $6 a microchip under the last agreement. Now we're at about $5 a microchip for this agreement. Plus, it's only on a as-used basis, opposed to a monthly subscription basis.
Pleasure of the council.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of the Pep Point Application Service Provider Agreement.
Motion by Councilor Casey, second by Councilman Olivari. Roll call?
Counselor Martinez? Yes. Counselor Olivari? Yes. Counselor Pacheco?
Yes.
Counselor Casey?
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Olivari. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion
Thank you,
carries.
Chief. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Motion by Councilor Casey, second by Councilman Pacheco. Meeting is adjourned.